I'm going to go over what's on the card. I'm going to go through it one piece at a time so that if you have your card, you can refer back to it, okay? The first thing is just some basic forward and backward jogging. Now, like I said, everybody out here is different. So if you want, instead of jogging forward and jogging backward, you can just walk forward and you can just walk backwards. All right? The other day, Wednesday, I was pretty stiff when I was doing my workout. So beforehand, I just walk forward and walk backwards. Okay? So let's do that, everybody. We're going to go right here on the card. It says 20 yards. We're just going to go 5. Okay? So everybody walk forward 5 yards and then walk backwards 5 yards. Okay? And if you feel excited, then you can jog if you want. Okay? However you want. Forward and backwards. Now, you don't have to do this just one time. All right? The other day I said I felt stiff. I spent 2 or 3 times walking forward and backwards. Then I started jogging. Then I started running. So I probably did about 4 or 5 just because on Wednesday I felt like I needed to do a little bit more. Okay? Now yesterday on Friday I felt pretty good. I did like 1 or 2 forward and backwards. Okay? Yeah, question, sir.
You want to start jogging before you stretch?
Yes. Okay. Yes, sir. Now, here's the thing. If you feel super tight, then don't do that. So good question. So for the static stretching, we want to do that after the game. Okay? Before we do this, if you need to get like a lacrosse ball, a golf ball, foam roller, Theragun, something like that to just loosen up enough in order to do these movements, in order to jog, then do that. If you don't feel like you're ready to jog off the bat, that's fine. Just walk forward, just walk backwards, okay? Second thing, let's balance up on our left foot. Right here, our left foot is balancing on. Get your right foot out in front, and we're gonna do some ankle circles. Now right here, it might be hard for some of y'all to see me. Start with a small ankle circle, just the toe, okay? And then if you can make it bigger. Now, the big thing people try to do is they try to bend their knee and circle from the knee. I see a lot of people doing a pretty good job of keeping their knees straight. And then try to move as much as you can through there. And then move the other direction, okay? Move the other direction, okay? Let's do 5 one direction, 5 the other direction on each foot, okay? Now, because our feet are inside of these shoes all the time, we don't have a great relationship with our feet because we don't see them and they block up a lot of our movement, okay? If you do this for a while, maybe for a week or 2 in your shoes, you can even do this barefoot, okay? And it can help improve your interaction with the ground, all right? But when we're doing these foot and ankle circles, it might seem like a small thing, but we're interacting with our toes, we're interacting with the front of our foot, the rear foot, and the ankle. So out of our support system, our shock absorbers, our wheels, everything from the knee down, right here, 4 parts of it, 4 out of the 5 parts, 80% are getting addressed with these foot and ankle circles, okay? And the bigger you teach your body to make them, the better that's gonna be for everything that we wanna do, okay? Now, right here in place, I wanna push through. Let's start here, just up on your toes, back down on your heels. Put your hands on your hips. A lot of times what people do is they can't move through their feet, so they start to rock their hips back like this, okay? And when they rock their hips back, they move their foot and their ankle less, and they move their hips more. So what you wanna do is put your hands on your hips, push your hips forward, come up on your toes, come down. Push up on your toes, come down. Okay, now, let's move to one foot. Push up on your toe, and then lift that toe up, the other toe up. Push up on your toe, lift the other toe up, okay? You can do this in place, or you can do this just walking out. So let's do this walking out 5 yards. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pause at the top. So hands on hips, just lift through the toe, try to pause at the top. Go ahead, pause at the top, and just lifting that toe up. Lift that toe up, then push through the ground. Lift that toe up, then push through the ground. Good, good. Now, we're going with the pause, now we're gonna go back. Just bouncing, kind of reflexing off the ground, keeping our knees straight, like this. There we go. Just getting a little bit of movement. Lifting through that toe, reacting off the ground. Now right here, on your heels, we're gonna walk forward 5 yards on your heels. There we go. Lifting that toe up to the top of your shoe. Get up on your toes. We're going to walk backwards, up on your toes. Backwards, up on your toes. All right, now, what we're going to do is we're going to walk backwards, and then we're going to sink into this position. My back leg. I can control how aggressive this is. The first thing, everybody start right here. Put your right heel on the ground and lift your right big toe up. Everybody be in this position right here. Heel down, toe up. Okay? Now I'm going to stand up tall. 1, 2, 3. Right heel down, right toe up. Okay? Go ahead. Go walk backwards and then sit. Let's everybody walk backwards that direction. Everybody walk backwards that direction and sit and lift that big toe up. There you go. And do it again, but this time, come onto your left foot. Left heel down, left toe up. Now, the days that I'm stiff, I'll spend more time doing this. Let's everybody turn around. We'll go backwards. Let's go 10 yards this time. I'm tall, 1, 2, 3. Heel down, toe up, and I sit. Heel down, toe up, and I sit. Good. Let's go 10 yards. Doing this one. Now what we're doing here is we're pushing your body, pushing your foot and ankle into dorsiflexion, okay? And everything I do when I run involves my foot dorsiflexion and then plantar flexion right here, okay? So my toe comes up, I push into the ground, and then it extends, okay? If I don't lift it up right here, I don't get that shock absorption with my toes, my forefoot, my rear foot. I don't get that if I'm not able here to pick my toe up when I run and then push down through the ball of my foot, okay? And that's what we're doing here is we're pushing into dorsiflexion, okay? Now, we're gonna go back another 10 yards, going this way, and what I want you to do is you're tall, you jog, and then you sit. You're tall, you jog, you sit, and when you sit, you're pushing your heel down and lifting your toe up so you can get into dorsiflexion. All right, here we go. 10 yards, jog back, and sit. Go ahead, keep going. Jog back, and sit. Jog back, and sit. There we go. Jog back, and sit. All right, now, from here, everybody's level of running is a little bit different, but whatever it looks like for you to run, even if it's just a jog, let's try going back, sit. Go back, sit. Let's go back. Let's go 15 yards here. So our group right here, you're going to go to the goal line, okay? So whatever it looks for you to be at another level from that, do that. When we warm up, when we prepare our body to move, we want to go from one level to the next, from one level to the 10th level. Does that make sense? We want to take the stairs, not the elevator. All right, here we go. Go ahead. Jog or run back and sit. Jog or run back and sit. That's it, that's it. There we go, there we go. All right, now, we're going to do a back low walk series, all right? The first one we're going to do is individual. Step together, okay? Now, when you're warming up, if you feel like this is the only thing that you have in your repertoire to do, you can just do this. But everybody can do this. You can just step back, smaller steps. If you just scale it down, smaller steps. If you want to scale it up, take bigger steps. If you're feeling good and you want to do more, take bigger steps. If you want to scale it down, smaller steps. The smallest step as you need to in order to get done what you need to prepare your body for your level, for your standards, for your performance. Okay? Here we go. Let's go back 5 yards. Step together. Step together. Toe up, heel down. Look at your feet. See if you can get your toes to point straight ahead when you do this. Feet close together, toes pointed straight ahead. So everybody here can do some level of this. Now, we're gonna increase the level. Step, pick one up and stabilize. Step, pick one up and stabilize. You want more? Step back farther. Step and stabilize. Step and stabilize. Here we go. Step and stabilize. Step and stabilize on one. Okay? Balance on one. Going backwards. Everybody go in this direction. Balance on one leg. Step, stabilize on one. Step, stabilize on one. Now, if you want to take it up another level, you can hop back here. You can jump back to go to a level above that. All right, at a basic level, you can step and stabilize again, or you can make the smallest hop backwards that you want. Okay? Increase. Just jump farther back. Okay? Here we go. We're going to go going backwards that direction. Go 10 yards. Either step, hop, or jump. Going backwards. Go. Stabilize. The trick is when you land, stabilize. Keep your hands on your hips so you understand where your hips are in space. Step and stabilize. Step and stabilize. Hop or jump, but find your ability to stabilize. Okay? So now, that's the first part of our support system. Okay? That's our toe, our forefoot, our rear foot, our ankle, and our knee. Okay? Finding that balance and support for that, for those wheels, for those shock absorbers right there. My encouragement to you is make sure you get this part right. Okay? If you get this part right, everything else that you want to do to prepare yourself for that competition is going to work better. You might be stiffer on Friday than you are on Wednesday. You might come out there Wednesday, everything might be fluid with this, okay? And you might be at the higher levels of the progression. On Friday, you might come out there, you've already coached, you've already refereed 2 games, you might feel a little bit more stiff. And you might need to spend a little bit longer at a lower level of this, okay? But if you go through this support system, then everything is going to be set up for you to be healthy and stable the rest of that competition. Okay? So now we're going to get into our hamstrings and really going from our knees up into our hips and pelvis. Okay? My hamstrings have 2 jobs. The first one that most people know about is flexing your knee. Okay? The one most people don't know about is that your hamstrings are a major part of your hip extension. Okay? And being able to have good hip extension brings your hips and your pelvis into balance and alignment and takes a ton of pressure off your spine. Probably 90% of the people I deal with who have back issues, they have an issue of not being able to use their hamstrings to support their hips extension. So what we're going to do here is balance on your right foot, bring your left heel up underneath your left butt and squeeze. Take your left hand, put it underneath your thigh, feel that hamstring. Squeeze it and then bring it back down. Let's do 3 more here. Squeeze it, bring it back down. Squeeze it, bring it back down. Hold at the top, squeeze, feel that muscle flex and engage, and then push back down. Okay? Now let's move to the other leg. Heel up, squeeze, down. Heel up, squeeze, down. Heel up, squeeze, down. Okay? Now, we're going to walk backwards. We're going to do the march up and down. Okay? We're just going to go up and down. Up and down. Just going 5 yards like that. Ready? Set? Go. Just up and down. 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3 up. All right, good. Now, we've got that movement pattern down. Now we're going to pause at the top. So 1, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. And we'll keep going. So we'll go back 5 yards going that way. Go ahead, march with the pause now. And try to bring your heel under your butt. Feel that flex in the hamstring. and then push down. Now, the first one, we went up and down, 2, 3, up and down, 2, 3. The second one, we flexed, 2, 3, flex, 2, 3. Now, we're gonna go fast up and down, fast up and down, fast up and down. Now, depending on the level you're at, okay, you might not wanna go up and down that fast. You might wanna just come up under control and push down, feel your hamstring engage and push down. But one of the things you're gonna notice about your body is if you use this program and stick with it, is week 5, 6, 7, 8, your body will start to want to do more with this because that hamstring will be more active because you're using it the right way more often. The thing I love about this program is the more that you use it, the better it gets for you. So we're gonna go up and down fast, up and down fast. If you need to, go slower. All right, we're gonna go 10 yards doing this so you can get the feel of it. Ready? Go. Up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, so one thing I want you to understand about a lot of our movements is we do what's called a triple step. And the reason why is because your body gets more coordination and it's smoother. So what I do right here is I'm up here and I'm down, and then I take 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, I end up on my other leg. 1, 2, 3, I end up on my other leg. It makes it smoother, it improves your coordination, and it transfers greater to when you go run and move on the field. So let's try that again, and you're up and down, 2, 3, up and down, 2, 3. Take that triple step in between. And one of the things I want you to think about, rhythm. All right, find the rhythm doing this. If you missed your triple step, just keep walking, get the next one, but find your rhythm. Here we go, 10 yards, and go. Up and down, 2, 3, up and down, 2, 3, up and down, 2, 3. Find your rhythm, find your rhythm. There we go, there we go. So now, we're gonna get into back butt kick with a reach. What this does is it increases my hip extension, okay? All right, we talked about our support system from our knee down. All right, we talked about our suspension system from our knee, through our hips, through our pelvis. A lot of times people will flex their spine and extend their spine instead of flexing their hips and extending their hips. So what you wanna do here is you're up and then you reach back, 2, 3, up, reach back, and you're getting into that hip extension. We're gonna go 10 yards doing this so we can get the feel of it, okay? Just up and down, under control, getting the movement down, reaching your heel, and think about reaching with your heel to do this. Reach your heel with your toe up, okay? Here we go, 10 yards, go. Find that rhythm. 2, 3, bring your heel up, reach the heel back with the toe up. This is march up and down on your back butt kick series. Okay? Now we're gonna go 10 yards. We're up, 1, 2, 3. So now I have a 3-second pause to really flex and engage that hamstring and do it again. This, to me, and everything we do is where the rubber meets the road as far as can you get this flex right here to really engage that hamstring and then push down. If I'm feeling a little bit off, this is the one that I go to make sure that I'm connecting with my body. So I flex, 1, 2, 3, reach behind, 1, 2, 3, flex, reach behind, 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. 10 yards, go. Flex, that's it, reach behind, and switch legs. 2, 3, find the rhythm. That's it, find your hamstring. You can take your hand behind your thigh and feel it when you hold it. Flex, 1, 2, 3, reach that heel. Flex, 1, 2, 3, reach that heel. Now, we're gonna go up and down fast. So here, up and down, as fast as you feel comfortable going. All right? We're gonna go 5 yards doing this. Ready, set, go. And reach behind you, there we go. Reach behind you. All right, so now we're gonna get into more of our hips and pelvis. We're gonna do a knee hug, slow. And this is where, if you have a background of using more static stretching, we're gonna get into stuff that's not static, but it's closer to static. So right here, I'm gonna come up slow, pull. When I pull, I don't wanna pull on my shin. A lot of people pull on their shin. You wanna put both hands on the knee, and then what I actually do instead of pulling is I push through the toe to extend my hip. And then what that does is that helps me get into more hip flexion here, more hip extension here. When I get into hip extension here, it triggers this hip to flex. That's how I'm built to run and move, is I push here to extend my hip, and my body works in opposition to flex the opposite hip. So we're gonna go this direction, 10 yards, slow and controlled, pushing through the ground. All right, and go. 10 yards going forward. Lift the toe up. If you lift that toe up and you flex that toe, it'll trigger your hip to flex. You push through the ground on the opposite side, it'll trigger that other hip to flex also. Now, whatever level you're at, go faster. If you feel like you're my man chasing things down, punch fast. If you're not, then just come up at the speed that you need to go a little bit faster. Ready? Go. Push through the ground. Now, if your quads are tight, that's going to pull your hips forward. If your quads and hip flexors are tight, that's going to pull your hips right here. Okay? So what we're going to do now, grab your foot, push through the ground. Grab your foot, push through the ground. We're going to go forward 10 yards. Go in that direction. Grab your foot, push through the ground, and go. Just a basic quad pull. All right, now we're going to go to another level with this. Grab your foot, reach your arm up. All right, you don't need to reach it behind you. Grab your foot, just reach up. If you can't do that, just try to grab your foot and go again here. You can go here again. If you can, reach up. It'll stretch out your hip flexor and your quad a little bit. Here we go, going 10 yards. Grab your foot, push to the ground, reach up. All right, so now we're going to do something called adduction, okay? We're going to start moving laterally. Okay? When we start to move laterally, our hips and pelvis in our suspension system, they really start to fire up and stabilize everything from the hips down into the knee. We already worked a lot on the knee going to the foot. We've been developing from the knee up into the hips. Now this part right here, this adduction, we really get into the hips. So right here, you can start off just walking laterally. Let's do that. Everybody face that direction. Walk laterally 5 yards. All right, go. Toes pointed straight ahead. Go as slow or fast as you feel good about. And then go back that direction. Always face the same direction. That's it, that's it. All right, so now, right here, now it's going to be about half speed, keeping the toes forward. I'm going about half as fast as I can go, keeping my toes pointed straight ahead. Ready? 5 yards and go. That's it, that's it, that's it. All right, and back. Go ahead. Good, now we're gonna go 3/4 speed. You can stay a little bit lower, shuffling like that. Ready, and go. And then same thing coming back, shuffling at the speed that you need to keep your toes pointed straight ahead. Not as fast as you can go, as fast as you can go with your toes pointed straight ahead. All right, we'll go full speed that you can, keeping your toes pointed straight ahead. And go. Good, and back. All right, now, everybody facing out this way. Set your feet outside your shoulders. Get into a quarter squat. Shift over to one side. Keep your toes pointed straight ahead. Keep your feet flat on the ground. And then just shift over. So what I don't want to do is pop up and pop back down. I want to shift over so all those muscles in my groin and in the outside of my hips can shift over from one side to the other. So I want to bring my hips over to one side, bring my hips over to the other side. Hips over to one side, hips over to the other side, okay? Let's do 3 going each direction, okay? Hands on your hips, there we go. Feel those muscles in your groin. Feel those muscles lengthening. Feel those muscles in the side of your hip engaging. Feel those muscles engaging. All right, now, this one's a little bit more, so be aware of where you're at. Balance on one leg with your toe up. All right, lunge out here, roll this foot. Go ahead, lunge out, roll this foot, and then push back and balance. Lunge out, roll the foot, push out and balance. Now, if you want, you can make your lunge go farther out. If you go farther out, you're gonna get more load and tension. If you don't go as far, you're gonna lessen it. Let's have everybody do 3 for the place that they need to be at. All right? Do 3 for where you need to be at. Go ahead. Stabilize in that hip, push back up. Stabilize in that hip, push back up. All right, we're starting to get into your trunk and spine. Like I said, you might get to this point and you might feel like, I'm good. I'm ready to perform the way I need to, okay? Some of you might feel like you need to do more in the trunk and in the spine, okay? So right here, balance on your left foot. All right, let's do 3 reps right here, just working on the low part of hip flexion. Just here and down. Go ahead and switch legs, toe up, right here, just that low part, okay? Now right here, let's work on the high part. Hands on hips, find that balance, switch legs, 3 on the other side. Feel that hip flex, feel that balance, okay? Now, balancing up. Now, I don't want to extend my back, I just want to extend my hip, squeeze this glute. Do 3 on one leg, switch, do 3 on the other.
Watch out, I'm so flat. I might kick.
Now right here, we're gonna hip abduction to hip abduction. And you don't need to go way out here. Just come across to feel your groin. Come out here to feel this side of the hip. Do 3 crossing each. Now depending on how you feel, you might want to do more of this in your movement prep, okay? You can do fewer reps, you can do more reps to feel like you've got that balance going and you're getting into that trunk and spine. Starts with your pelvis and then works its way up to your head. Okay? Now, this one is probably, I feel like this has a lot to do with you improving, all right? This is called our walking calf series. So what you're gonna do is put your heel down where you're at. Just put your left heel down. Flex your hip flexors, the muscles in the front of your hips, and push your hips back. And as you do that, you're gonna feel a load or a stretch in the back side of that hamstring, the back side of your thigh and that hamstring. What I want you to do is dig that heel into the ground and use that hamstring to extend your hip. Let's do 3 of these. Flex the hip flexor, feel the load in that hamstring, and then dig the heel to feel that hamstring engage. Dig the heel to feel that hamstring engage. Use that hamstring to extend your hip. Okay? Now let's switch to the right leg. Heel down, toe up. Flex the hip flexor, feel the stretch and load in the hamstring. Dig to use that hamstring to extend your hip. Flex the hip flexor, dig with the heel, and use that hamstring to extend your hip. Okay? Now, what we're gonna do is going forward, we're gonna dig, flex, slow, pause, and when you have that pause, you're gonna feel that hamstring engage more. Then you're gonna use that hamstring to extend the hips. 1, 2, 3, heel dig, pause, and come up. We'll go 5 yards doing that. That's it, slow, flex the hips, pause, and then dig and use that hamstring. There we go. Now, going back. All right, we're gonna go down, no pause, drive up. Right here, no pause, drive up. Heel dig, pull, use the hamstring. Go ahead, 5 yards. Dig the heel on the ground, use that front heel digging in. Go. Now, if you want to take it up another level, all right, you can jog into it, heel dig, pull. Heel dig, pull. Let's go 10 yards forward at the level that you want to. If you want to go up faster, jog and run. If you want, you go slower. Go. Dig that heel in the ground. Pull that hamstring. Use that hamstring. Pull with it to extend your hips. Try not to flex your spine. Try to flex the hips. All right. Let's talk a little bit.
You know I can do this in my sleep, right?
So right here, this is going to be some stuff for your neck. You can do this before the game and after the game, or you can do it just before the game or just after the game, okay? So right here, hands on your hips. What I want you to do is squeeze your left butt cheek and then look to the right, okay? Let's have everybody face this direction. Squeeze your left butt cheek, look to the right. Then squeeze your right butt cheek, look to the left. Okay, so whatever way you look, you squeeze the opposite butt cheek. All right, here we go. Do 3 on each side. All right, now, flex your neck to the side. Flex your neck to the side. 3 on each side. Whatever way you move with your neck and spine, flex the opposite glute. And now right here, tuck your chin, look up. Just look up as far as you feel comfortable looking. Flex to look down. So right here, now, when you rotate to the right, squeeze your left glute. When you rotate to the left, squeeze your right glute, okay? So I don't want to do the old twist. I want to rotate, engaging my obliques, and I want to anchor my hip by squeezing that glute on the back side. Now right here, I'm going to laterally flex, squeezing the hip on the opposite side. And now, I'm going to spinal roll down, flex my spine, flex my hips, and then come all the way up and look up. Flex the chin, roll all the way down, hang, and then use your hamstrings to help you extend your hip and look up. Whenever you deal with the neck and the spine, you want to be very controlled in the way you do, the way you move it. But if you move it, you will have better health and better movement in it. There's 3 types of movement we use for the neck, 3 for the spine, okay? We do rotation, we do lateral flexion, and then we do flexion and extension. We do that with the neck, we do that with the spine, right here, and then up. So rotation, side to side, lateral flexion, and then forward and backward flexion and extension, okay? Last thing we'll do is we'll do some stuff for your shoulder blades, okay? So take your hands, put them out in front of you, squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Imagine there's a pencil between your shoulder blades, right there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your arms down, squeezing this between the shoulder blades, and And imagine you're lifting a piano and you're just trying to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Come down slow, pause right here, and then lift up. Elbows are straight, moving through your shoulder blades. Elbows are straight, moving through your shoulder blades. Okay? Now come out to the side here, put your hands like this, squeeze your shoulder blades together, shrug, unshrug, come down. Once again, imagine you're lifting a piano on each arm, squeezing those shoulder blades together, shrug, unshrug, come down, slow. Do 2 more, okay? Keep the shoulder blades squeezed, raise, shrug, unshrug, down. 1 more, lifting pianos, squeezing the shoulder blades, shrug, unshrug, down. And then the last one, elbows right here at 90, squeeze your shoulder blades together, rotate here, rotate down. Rotate here, rotate down. Okay? Now what I've given you is everything that you would need for every part of your body. Okay? Now, I recommend you using as much of it as you need on each game to get yourself ready. Okay? I'd recommend you trying to go through it on your own. Try going through it sooner rather than just like the start of the season, so you can understand how your body feels and how it moves when you're doing those things. Do I have any questions?
Yeah, we let that replace the workout.
All right. Thank you guys for listening and for working with me. If you need anything, I'll send Mark my contact information and we can get y'all anything you need.